Chapter 4 1. 3 days passed before Bex was released. Acetra and Zalpha continued with their studies and spoke at length about game theory and language, but Bex never left their thoughts. Together, they learned about Hubris 89X's career by doing a background check. As it turned out, the duo were taking residence in the eugenics department of the university. Zalpha felt the impact of this revelation. Acetra noticed a familiar face coming from the gates of the institution. Bex. He smiled when he saw the pair waiting for him, shook Zalpha's hand, and kissed Acetra. 2. The eugenics department is very secretive. They don't like attention, so we need to find Hubris 89X when they're not there. The Trinity agreed on this. Bex, you've known the pair the longest. What do they do with their spare time? Acetra wondered. Hubris has a distaste for books made of paper. Count out the library. 89X is sentient, but can read Hubris's emotions better than any human. Why not ask 27W? To what end? Asked Zalpha, as he pressed the indent on his wrist. Computers, at least sentient ones, have hobbies of their own. Bex answered. Zalpha called 27W using his implant. Hello, Zalpha. Hi, 27W. What kinds of things do you do in your spare time? Data assimilation, mostly. The sentient computer answered. Where can I find a place to do so myself? Zalpha asked. 27W displayed a site where computers could meet and exchange data. This is a dating website, Acetra laughed. Yes, replied 27W. There on the screen was a profile for Hubris 89X. Seeking recipe for cheese will offer assimilation for peanuts. This is a weird one, 27W said. Can we ask a favor? Zalpha asked the computer. 3. Hiski omsi avi asem emens ite me uyu agen lisbehisk. 4. Hubris began to wilt. 89X suffered strange images in its program. The duo felt strange cravings for human delicacies, and nuts eating was foreign to Hubris 89X. Neither had ever required such a function, as their energy source was generally photosynthesis, optimized with mineral water and other nutrients. Roaming around searching for unnecessary resources was a waste of time, but for some reason the two did just that, and compulsively. New mail, the implant indicated. 27W would like to assimilate data with you. There was an attachment. A digital coupon for mozzarella at the human grocery dispensary. Cheese, 89X exclaimed. Hubris 89X replied affirmatively to the assimilation request. They arranged to meet 27W 77M00H at Sector A Restaurant Lounge. But first, an inspection of the mozzarella. 5. Request affirmed, Zalpha said to Bex. And Acetra. Bex was happy to learn this, yet he had a question about something else. How long will Sector H be under quarantine, Zalpha? He spent 3 nights in the institution and one at Cetra's dorm. His dorm, however, was just data. Bex was effectively homeless. Usually, quarantine lasts in between 24 hours and 5 days. It's been 4 days and 12 hours. I bet Sam's still in your dorm, suspended in animation. Before 27W's date, we should check the forensic department schedule. Let's go then, Cetra piped up. The Trinity headed out. 6. Sure enough, the quarantine was up. Hex clones walked out of the forensics department with a sort of disorientation that mimicked a hangover. Data was released to those who could prove their identity. Bex gave the authorities his thumbprint and answered some security questions. They gave him a small cube and instructions on how to decompress his dorm. Afterwards, the three hailed a car on the pipe, punched in the coordinates for Sector H, and sat in the car discussing what to do when they saw Hubris 89X. 7. Schizoid Cult Corp arrived at an incomplete Sector H. It was exceptionally busy yet eerily quiet. Bex followed the instructions the department gave him, putting the cube on a stone in the middle of the lot, then stepping back. Hex Gen Model B, decompressed dorm. The cube expanded instantly. The three partners stepped inside and called for Sam. Zalfa just felt that he knew Sam would come, but he never did. Beck started to play the guitar. Cetra sang lyrics and Zalfa phased into the mind trap. The portal opened abruptly and the Trinity was forced into 4D. 8. This time, nobody fainted. They called out for Sam for hours, it seemed. No trace. Zalfa gave the signal. Bex drew on his ability and pulled Zalfa out of the mind trap. Cetra translated Zalfa's ramblings. The portal began to close as Schizoid Cult Corp stepped back into their 3D home. Where are you? A tear fell from Zalfa's eye. This could only mean the worst for Sam. 9. They left for Sector A. The restaurant had a Vietnamese menu, and the red color scheme felt in a certain sense romantic. Cataluk statues waved at the patrons, and the aroma of cilantro wafted through the air. Bex lit a cigarette and talked casually about inconspicuous topics that wouldn't arouse suspicions. 27W sat at a table near the back of the room, facing the entrance. Zalfa covered the exit in the back by the kitchen, watching 27W's table. May I take your order? A member of the waitstaff asked. Number 32, please, Bex requested. I'll have the same, with a substitute of chicken. Cetra winked at Bex, who smiled and then made eye contact with Zalfa across the room. Those eyes of his had seen much. Then the bell above the door of the entrance chimed, and there were Hubris and 89X, looking almost as weathered as Zalfa's eyes. The duo intercepted 27W, who offered peanuts and cashews. Zalfa watched closely. The plant cyborg was distracted. Surgeon, the duo responded to 27W when asked about career. Caregiver, 27W offered to Hubris 89X. So far, so good. Zalfa watched. Bex and Cetra slipped into the lounge and parted. Bex to the bar and Cetra to the lavatory. Bex occupied the bartender by ordering a shot of nitrogen in mineral water. And Cetra beelined for the employee break room. She put on a uniform and stepped out. You must be the new girl, Bex said to her. She took the glass of mineral water / nitrogen from him and brought it to Hubris 89X from an admirer she said with a smile. Hubris absorbed it quickly. 89X offered 27W an outlet. 27W connected. Data was shared between them. Suddenly, 89X powered down. Hubris was a sitting duck. Etc., dressed in waitstaff uniform, asked 27W whether his date had too much to drink and offered an escort home. Certainly, 27W answered as rehearsed. Zelfa phased into the mine trap. Bex kept an eye on the bartender. Etc. followed 27W and Hubris 89X to Zelfa's dorm. They weren't seen by suspicious eyes. Zelfa saw a flash of blue, indicating to himself that he should be wary of the next game. He went right to the kitchen and right again, down some stairs into the cellar, counting as he went. 14. This time, Bex could wait in 7 moves, but Zelfa would be interrupted after 4 moves. What could be this interruption? The cellar was filled with wine and cheese.